Hello, mortals. Welcome back to the letter. When we last left off, Rebecca went on somewhat of a date with the little girl's godfather. So, we will now continue on with the escapades of encountering the ghost, yes. She looks quite frustrated, almost like she's trying to pull her pants, yes. She's sitting cross-legged on the hallway, just right in front of her room, with several papers and folders scattered about, yes. More than once, opened them up business stuff. Oh, you've got to write them down or just cause a big pile, yes. Everything considered looks like a mess. It tastes like a mess. It sounds like a mess. Therefore, I conclude it would make for good lunch to recycle, yes.
I'm just being weird, because I want to make this more interesting. Anyway. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello. Sorry to call you this late. There's something I just want to confirm, if that's okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Thanks anyway. Not that one either.
It's a cycle. She goes through call after call, and after the last one ends, she shuffles through the pile again and dials another number. Is it work?
No, it's something just to frustrate her, yes.
On the ninth call, she still appears as oblivious to it as when I've arrived. When she lets out a huge sigh this time, I immediately take this opportunity to interrupt.
Isabella, you know the house rules here.
At once, her head jerks back and hits the concrete wall behind her with a thump. That's the Isabella I know, but it's still there. I allow her a moment to nurse it before speaking again.
Rebecca, you're late! Yeah, I ran into a little trouble at the cafe. But I brought food for the two of us, if you haven't eaten anything yet.
An anticipated grin opens on her face. If she were to grin any further, she'd be like a cat, yes.
Yet it doesn't reach her eyes. There's nothing of the cheerful glint in it this time. Just a hollow tone for the sake of being polite. Ashton's right. Something's happened.
Yeah, maybe later. I've gotta finish this first. Just leave it here. I'll eat it once I'm done. Thanks, Becca. You can't eat this here. You know how the landlady would react. Why are you even walking outside? Your room's right there. I know. Sorry. It just feels stuffy in my apartment right now. I'll go back inside once everything's been aired out. I promise. That has never bothered you before. Well, it bothers me now. Oh, really? Just now? I find that hard to believe. Yeah? Shouldn't you be happy? I mean, you've been complaining even if it's not your room. Now I know how you're feeling when it's messy, so I'm going to clean.
In spite of what's happened, to be good news, an exhale comes from me, drawn out and slow. There's a lot of breathing here. Well, don't forget to breathe, everybody. If this is taking your breath away, don't. You want to breathe.
It's a good thing, Isabella. Believe me. But you're as bad as Zachary at lying. What's really going on?
She hastily averts her eyes, a surefire indicator this is going to be one of those lengthy conversations that could possibly end with the other person angry. Again, it's one thing I'd like to avoid tonight at all costs. Still, I've made a promise to Ashton and Zachary. If she didn't talk to them, who else is she going to talk to if she keeps this all to herself? Who knows what might happen?
Isabella, you can tell me. Is it about your family?
A slight movement of her lips, although a frown. It's a reaction, at least. I'm getting there.
Rose?
She merely shakes her head. Just a little more.
Come on, I know something happened. I don't know if it's because of Rose, but I know it's related to her somehow. You weren't here when I visited this morning, and both Zachary and Ashton are worried about you. If you don't want to tell them, you can tell me.
I've been haunted by a ghost.
Does it have something to do with work? Office?
Oh yes, very much to do with the office. If I didn't know her, I might have missed it. She shifts then, her fists clenching tight and teeth biting her lower lip. And there's fear. The look of terror in her is the last thing I expected to see out of everything. Her mouth trembles briefly before she opens them. When she finally voices it out, the words simply spill out of her mouth. Oh yeah, believe us, we were there with her. I was terrified as well. One after another. All of it. True to what I've promised her. I listen. Because this is something she's been keeping to herself, even from the two most dependable people I know. The fact she chooses to tell me this speaks a lot to me.
Becca, she was there again.
She?
Last night? In the office? Boss passed me all of Rose's workload yesterday. For the Ermengarde mansion. I had to stay late to finish them all. And then, when I was about to go home, I saw her.
He saw dead people.
I saw her again. She was standing in front of me again last night, Becca. I couldn't get away. She was blocking the door. If I hadn't hid myself, even if I made the tiniest noise, if she found me, Becca, she almost did. If she saw me under my table, I think that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, that was a really terrifying moment. So terrifying I had to contact Neil to question why he bothered to make me play this game.
I'm scared. I'm so scared I won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, I was right there with you, Isabella. I was right there with you. I even ran away from the screen. In the end, her hands are trembling and her breathing comes out in rasping intervals. For a long moment, I let the silence stretch out between us and let her sobs fill it instead. I must admit, I'm not really much of a sweary person, but during the high-stakes intensity of the horror, I swore like a storm. I hate to admit it, but it's true. It's good to be honest. I'm a gentleman, don't you know? But even as her soft whimpers die down, minutes later, there's a heaviness hanging in the air. Not just from her, but also from me. From my exasperation over this whole matter, from my own frustrations over her stupid superstitions when she could go do us a favor and get a backbone. It's just an office gig. She may be young, but she's no longer that young. Pull yourself together. Say what have you been haunted by a ghost and clearly trembling with genuine fear? It's about time to put this poppycock to an end. I'm making fun of her because Rebecca's denying the obvious. She can't keep going on like this. She's still got plenty of years to live out as a rich swine. And what if she goes home? What if we're no longer there to keep her fears in line with what's real? I'm the one in touch with what's real around here. Someone fetch me my paycheck. I'm not oblivious to, inevitable stuff. I'm not denying certain things you are. I'm not believing in something that has little to no evidence. You are. I'm not presupposing that I've got all this logic backed up and that I can't prove it scientifically. You are. I'm afraid of her. What kind of imagination will do to her than of what some imaginary monster could? But what's the matter? She's looking at me right now. There's an expectation in it, a hope, and a plea soon together. She wants me to believe her this time. She wants me to believe her this time. Couldn't tell if I keep them off now or take that seriously. If it's like that, then how am I supposed to say now? Okay, another choice. Right. Let's see where this one goes. Okay, almost halfway there. One of these two choices is going to affect things. Two choices up ahead. What to say? Is this why you didn't go home? Is this why you didn't go home last night? Yeah, that's more friendly. As you can tell, I'm picking the best route. The one where everyone has a chance of redemption. To see the truth and good in each other. I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want anybody here to die. I don't want a ghost to catch up to people and eat their liver or whatever it is she does. That putty face is giving me. I doubt I ever will push it. I know her. When she wants to be stubborn, she's stubborn. But there are moments where she can be acquiescing, too. Times when she'll be more accepting of what I tell her, despite her inclination to disagree with it. That talk can wait. In the meantime, I'll be the ear that listens to her without judging her, without criticizing her, despite my own opinions on it.
You should have called me.
She stares at me like I've grown another head, and the laughter slips out before I can stop myself.
There? I can't do that! What will you do? Hit her with a book? You'll be dead before that happens. And...
Hey. Listen here. Never underestimate the power of a book. I happen to be holding a New Testament Bible, by the way. Just so you know.
That isn't what I'm talking about. After you got out, you should have phoned me. You didn't have to go to Zachary's.
The corners of her mouth curl up. A sheepish smile by general definition, but this is Isabella. Her smiles are never half-hearted, never lacks her high spirits. In spite of this, I know everything's going to be okay. Somehow. After all, she's learned how to pick herself up long ago, long before we met.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I don't even remember how I ended up in Zach's place. I was in a hurry to get out of the office, and it was already late. Besides, I don't really think you'll believe me if I wake you up over something like that. That's beside the point. True or not, there are people who will always be concerned about you. There's Zachary, but he's the first person you went to, and you didn't tell him anything. You just slept there. There's Ashton too, and me. But how do you think I'll be able to explain to your aunt or your family if you suddenly disappeared? Think about that. Right. I'll remember that next time.
Then she grins. Playful and mischievous. A preamble to an old banter. It's still not quite there. Still not quite her usual self. But with it, I know we're bound to get back to her soon.
Mom, I told you not to call me that.
Good one. Alright. Always share the laughing moments. I was trying to say laughter and then laughing. I was trying to say laughing moments, but it came across as almost laughter, so now it's just come across as laughing. That's a new word now. Laughing. Seconds later, the moment is broken by the sound of a door easing open and a voice begging some little peace.
How many times have I told you girls not to loiter around the hallway? It's noisy. Some people here are trying to sleep.
Hey, landlady! Keep the voice down! I'm trying to get some shut-eye! Hey, neighbor! Quit your yapping! Me and my wife are trying to have a good time here! Will you quit your yapping? I'm trying to get some shut-eye myself!
Quiet down or go do your talking inside. I'm pinning a memo to your door the next time this happens. Millennials.
Sorry, we won't do it again.
You'd better.
The door closes, and Isabella starts gathering the mess she made, carefully stacking them all in her arm. At a loss of what to do, I help her pick them, and for the first time I get a closer look at it. Briar Realty Estate. But it catches my attention nevertheless, and a confused frown makes its way to my face. Why is she looking through this? I look at her for an explanation, but she merely ignores the question in my eyes, takes the paper from my hands, and finishes cleaning up. The last paper she puts on top is a letter. The one she supposedly found in the mansion, and one probably the root cause of this odd behavior. I shoot her a questioning look for that too, but all she gives me is a smile, and in a halting tone so completely unlike her.
Becca, I'll find a way out of this. You guys don't have to worry about me. Anyways, I should go. I'll see you later.
Bye, Isabella.
Where are you going? Getting myself some food. Don't wait for me.
Oops. Isabella walks away before I can stop her, before I can remind her I've brought food enough for the two of us. She quickly disappears down the stairwell, while I'm still left standing in the empty hallway, holding 2 bags of takeout. One of them will go uneaten tonight. That's a shame. Just an innocent passing thought. One that I don't dwell on much as I head back to my room. I ignored all of it. In the same way I've assumed I won't ever encounter that douche again. Oh, just you wait. October 27th. And here we are again. And the mannequins are back. Well, as nice as it can get with worries of Isabel's whereabouts creeping up. Has someone cleaned that locker, by the way? Those 3 lockers. They were stained with blood the other day. Has someone cleaned that up? Okay, they seem clean by me. Good. Okay. My nose is getting a bit sick. Bless me. Sorry. Anyway, by all means, this shouldn't be anything to lose sleep over. He's gone on work trips before, usually for a day or 2. This might simply be one of those. Although it's often with a message saying exactly where. But the darn at the end.
Like an ugly premonition.
As expected, just as things start to settle down. A little ceremony through stills and anything. In retrospect, really should see this coming. Luxford is a small city, relatively speaking. Compared to, say, London or Glasgow, hey! It's nothing but a tiny mass of land boasting a mere population of 68,000. Still quite a lot. Those numbers alone are nothing to scoff at when standing in a busy street. If you pay close enough attention, faces talking the crossroads or riding the subway will soon grow familiar. How unfortunate that out of that number, it has to be Teal frickin' Luke I encounter more than once.
Oh, you know, a few problems popping up here and there that the agents failed to tell us somehow.
Here we go.
Nothing a few hired hands can't fix, of course. I would have preferred a place near the city and something that's new to save us all the trouble, but darling wife insisted.
Yes, we had to pick the haunted mansion.
Who am I to say no?
Are you kidding me?
This smug head is the first thing I see upon turning into the hall, in spite of the small crowd of parents and students gathering in the corridor for the primary career day. Oh, Parents' Day, great. It's not that he stands out, it's pretty unremarkable at first glance, frankly. However, it's his countenance that draws people's eyes to him. The manner he carries himself with all the confidence in the world, his mere presence dwarfing everything around him. I'm willing to make a bet he's also enjoying the attention it garners him, especially the ones that are coming from the... Really? Most of them are too young!
What an ass.
Single glance at him, and I know immediately that one way or another, if we ever bump into each other again, my day will effectively be ruined in some capacity. He also exudes that air. The sort that makes you want to run him over with a lorry and pass it off as an unfortunate accident. With him, it's either you want to punch him or you let yourself be charmed. There's no in-between. I'll gladly do the honor of the former myself, but alas.
We're in public. I wouldn't want to slaughter him in public. No. We'll let the girls do that.
I shouldn't have volunteered.
Okay, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de. And there's stuff and boxes in the hair, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. I'm sorry, this is a long game and I need to get through it. Oh. That sounds familiar. Show yourself.
Oh, careful now, Daisy. Don't make a mess here.
My entire body freezes. Upon hearing his voice alone, an irrational impulse to hit immediately bubbles up. Before my limbs could catch up with my brain and is currently screaming at me, he moves to take the burden off my arms. Irritation gives way to surprise and confusion. It is that moment that instinct initially kicks in and I tug the box closer to me before he can fully lift it off.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? You're surprisingly slow on the uptake for someone of your profession, aren't you? Bloody, doesn't this girl have people for this kind of work? So much for being a center of academic excellence.
I'm going to ignore that slight to my alma mater and my work because that's not what I'm trying to get at. You know what? Why don't we just rephrase that to something you'll easily understand? Why exactly are you doing this?
Well, you look like you could use a bit of help. Have you seen your face while you were heaving this around?
Mister, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a look on my face, it's entirely because I saw something extremely unpleasant this morning.
Aren't you a ball of sunshine today, Daisy? Having a bad day, aren't we?
Oh, you have no idea.
I'd put it away if I were you. You might scare the children.
You don't have to worry about that. This isn't my department. I was just asked to bring these. Anyway, I can handle this myself, mister. The room's just right over there. Behind you, in fact. Now, if you could please move over and make way, it would do the whole world some good.
Keeping my voice level throughout is a miracle in itself, but regardless of how polite my request is, he doesn't budge. Did what I've just said merely fly over his head, or my choice of words really that difficult to comprehend? Surely it shouldn't be that hard. I think he might be a little touched in the head. Pardon me. I burped. I'd like to ask him that, actually, but Kylie chooses the instant to pipe in.
Don't worry, Miss Pink. Teo's strong. You can leave this to him.
Hooray!
My papa does it lots of times, but I'm not allowed to talk about it to anyone.
You just stick by your godfather.
Teo says it's
Confidential, Munchkin.
That's right.
Yay!
Teo's smart, isn't he, Miss Pink?
Yeah! Well, I won't deny that. I'm still in the opinion that he's a piece of shit. But I must admit, his goddaughter's excitement is contagious as always. A smile makes its way to my lips. Thank God for the godfathers, mothers, and daughters and sons. I'm starting to lose some feeling in my stomach, but how tightly she wounds her arms around it.
I'm sure he is, Kylie. But I'm also sure he'll find better use for it elsewhere.
Like helping you out.
Oh, well, that's one thing, but
You heard the kid.
no one's asking you.
You wound me, woman.
And I'm quite certain I can do more damage than that. Shall we give it a try? Again?
He pales, stammers for a bit, but he ultimately decides against saying anything and settles for a brief show of discomfort instead. He's probably having flashbacks to the last time we met. His composure, when we finally regain some of his bearings, says it all. It's nothing short of hilarious if I do say so myself.
I'll have you know that threats never work on me, Daisy.
Really?
Not in a million years, not ever.
Really?
You're assuming it's a threat. How cute.
That too. I'm not scared of you. Just because you landed a hit.
Uh-huh. Do go on. Keep telling yourself that.
It was a fluke, you hear? I was caught off guard and your damn book left a dent. If I end up in a hospital because of what you did, I'm sending the chief of Luxford Police after you, woman.
You don't say.
Just give me that bloody box.
He snatches it out of my arms before a single word of protest exits my mouth and quickly disappears behind the classroom. Now, not that it matters who brings it now. My prior irritation has already melted into amusement. He's not so bad once you figure out how his temperament works. It's almost similar to a child. Speaking of children...
Kylie, did your Tio eat something bad before coming here? He's unusually nice today.
A far-fetched idea, I know, but it's the only reason I can think of why this arsehole is suddenly acting like a decent human he's quite frankly far from being. First and foremost, we didn't end our last meeting on a good note. If I were him, I'd avoid the very person who put a dent in his skull, as he so aptly put it. Why he's acting friendly 2 days later?
He always is. But I made him promise to be extra nice to you since you helped me so much. I think you're gonna be great friends.
Yay! I quickly stop on the urge to groan loudly, or gag at that. He's the last person I'd ever want to be chummy with in this whole city, but Kylie doesn't need to know that.
Are you sure it's not something he ate during breakfast?
I gave him some Jellybabies this morning.
That explains the good mood.
Really brought me lots of them. Mama said I should share, so I offered half of it to Tio when he picked me up. He likes the black ones.
Alright, and the fourth Doctor likes the orange ones.
Oh, that's probably why he's weird. Jellybaby overdose.
He could have done everything in our favour and choked on them while he's at it. Note to self, if I want to befriend a rich swine, give him Jellybabies.
Do you want some? I've got more.
Oh, please, please.
Couldn't find Melody or Takako this morning, but I'm sure I'll be fine sharing some of it with you.
Please give me Jellybabies.
No, I'm not really very fond of them.
No,
I was just asking.
no, I want the Jellybabies.
Oh, where's your mum, by the way?
I want the Jellybabies.
Out of town with Papa.
I want the Jellybabies, please. Please give me the Jellybabies.
Look into my eyes. I want them Jellybabies. Please, please. I want the Jellybabies. Please give me the Jellybabies. Please give me Jellybabies for dinner. Give me Jellybabies.
I'm gonna go to the shops after this and get myself some Jellybabies. It's too late to think about it now, but I remember the dull ache is still there. Familiar. Sorry, the thought of me getting Jellybabies. Okay, carry on.
Weren't they informed of Career Day beforehand?
Yeah, I told them all about it. Mama was looking forward to it.
Looking forward to Jellybabies!
And they still left?
How could they abandon the Jellybabies?
Uh-huh. It's important business, so it can't be helped.
I'll say it's important business. We're talking about Jellybabies here.
They promised to tell me about it when they come back tomorrow, though. Papa said he'll give me a gift if I behave.
Would it happen to be something deliciously squidgy, shaped like a man? Please don't take that the wrong way. That's disgusting.
I've been a good girl, right, Miss Pink?
You always are.
Aww.
But they asked they asked your Tio to look after you? For this?
Yeah, for Jellybabies.
No, they didn't.
No? Then how?
With the power of Jellybabies.
It was supposed to be Tia. Mama likes her better than Tio, so she asked her, but she's sick and had to visit the doctor today.
Jellybabies will cure them.
Oh, that's supposed to be a secret, by the way. Oh, but I think it's a bit confusing because Tio said she also went shopping.
For Jellybabies!
That's unfair. Don't you think so, Miss Pink? Mama, it's still okay, though, since Tio always buys me sweets before we go home. I'm gonna ask for a parfait today. Extra large.
Would it happen to come with Jellybabies?
Don't tell Takako, okay?
Listening to her like this, it's easy to get a picture of where Kylie's fondness for the guy comes from. From the commonality of sharing Jellybabies. He's far from a demanding child, unless you've made a promise of some sort. He never forgets those. He'll make friends with anyone, whoever he is. Buy her a few things and voila, you're settled. No wonder she's so attached to the man. The douche probably showers her with gifts wherever she can, like Jellybabies. I can't say it's a sentiment of the same for the latter, though. He doesn't seem the type, and probably just does it for the sake of getting some peace and quiet whenever he's with the girl. Classic techniques.
But before that, I'm gonna show him to everyone first. It's gonna be great. No one else has a gazillionaire fairy godfather.
Indeed. Especially when you two shower each other with Jellybabies.
Also, when I grow up, I'm gonna be exactly like him and marry someone really handsome.
You want to become a rich, blondie swine who calls people the N-word and goes to purchase haunted mansions. I mean, if you want to purchase another haunted mansion, please, be my guest.
Like Tia did. That way, I can be awesome too.
Yeah, because nothing says awesomeness like bringing people together from a cursed letter. There's some sort of misguided logic in there that I'd like to correct. Yeah! Before I can say my piece, douchebag steps in, fresh out of the commotion from the classroom behind us, and plows into the conversation with every subtlety a wrecking ball has. Love that kind of quotation. No poops given, despite no one asking for his opinion.
Munchkin, sweetie, trust me. You don't have to marry someone for that to happen.
I don't?
Just do your thing, darling. I'm quite sure you can do great things on your own without lugging around extra baggage with you.
You don't have to purchase a haunted mansion.
Tia married you.
Kylie drops the statement without any sort of preface, and at the moment it lands, the douche finds himself grappling with the conversation.
Yeah, well, that's true, Munchkin, technically, but it's not the same thing.
A small frown creases the girl's eyebrow. Gotta love that look. It's not surprising either when the look tenses under the girl's questioning gaze. Leave it to the children to leave people asking for more. It's amazing how children can come up with more profound questions than adults, like, why am I here? What's the purpose of everything, huh? You know, without that sense of eternal hope, it's all for naught. It's familiar. I've seen the same look a great deal of times before on Ashton, whenever he's trying to say something he can't quite phrase. Another second passes before the douche moves. Kneeling in front of Kylie and placing both his hands on either side of her shoulder. Kind is the last word I'll ever use to describe the man, but in this minute, there's a smile on his face I can't place. Such poetry, that rhymes. Tender by all means for someone as obnoxious as him. It's a curious thing to see, if not a bit odd.
Listen here, sweetie. Tia was already a great person before she met me.
That's why they married.
She is? But I don't see her doing anything. She's always at home.
Not always, Munchkin. Did you know she's really good at numbers?
Like counting Jellybabies.
You're good with them too.
Yeah.
You helped me with my homework once.
What is 10 Jellybabies times by 700 Jellybabies?
Well, Tia's much better than me. She used to do maths with big numbers.
Oh, like millions?
1 million Jellybabies.
No,
10 million Jellybabies?
gazillions. And she's really good at it.
No.
So much so that her dad let her manage anything that had to do with it.
Wouldn't you get sick after eating a gazillion Jellybabies?
That was even before she met me, too.
Oh my. Everyone here is obsessed with those Jellybabies.
Does that mean she's better than you?
No, we're all equal to each other.
Oh, leagues, Munchkin.
Oh, he's humbling himself.
Way better than I'll ever be.
Well, at least he's being sincerely honest now. I can relate to that, Luke. I see myself as the worst person. Yeah. For some reason, I don't think he's talking about his wife's mathematical prowess as his voice trails off. In fact... Sorry, the phone's going off. That's not important. Right. Light shifting his smile from one that's tended to be... Sorry. Okay, I was just listening out for the phone, really. And at the fleeting glance of it, a tiny insignificant part of the world somehow also shifts. Opinions changing, impressions moving.
You know what? Why don't you ask Tia next time you have homework,
Okay, next time I'll ask her to help out.
Huzzah!
See? No need to marry a good-for-nothing bloke.
Can I also tell her to not stay at home anymore? If Tia's good at it, I'm sure she can help you out too. I'm Papa. He computes a lot of numbers too. Tia can help him.
You go do that. I'm sure she'll love to hear it, Munchkin, even if it's been a while since.
Sounds like he said even if it's been a while suits.
But off you go first. I think I saw your friend run off to the other classroom. The one with the pigtails?
Oh, that's what she has.
Go say hi to her. You still have those Jellybabies to give her, yes?
Jellybabies!
All right,
Alright!
but wait for me, okay? I've got loads more to show you.
Loads more Jellybabies.
They put up my drawing on the bulletin the other day. I'm gonna take you there later. I'll be back.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Let us eat the Jellybabies. Look straight as soon as he's gone. The expression on his face grows less kind now. But there's no one to reassure. Despite that, a chuckle still escapes me. His head quickly snaps at me, an accusing glare clear in his eyes. Although it's less threatening now, considering what I've witnessed earlier. Funny how one person's impression of someone can easily change with that minute detail.
Why are you laughing like that?
Don't mind me. I just saw something surprising today. Don't let it bother you.
Putting it like that won't make me any less inclined to ask. What is it, woman? If this is another one of your threats, I've already told you it isn't going to work on me. That good teacher act isn't going to fool anyone.
What makes you think it has to do with you? I could have just remembered something funny. Not everything in this world revolves around you, mister.
I am not daft, Daisy. It's on your face for all the world to see. Now, say it so we can be done with this stupid talk.
Oh, that does another laugh. More to delay than to express any sort of amusement over the matter. In truth, I don't know where to start. One wrong move, one wrong word, I might offend the man. Pardon me, I just burped. You're good at handling her. Oh well, regardless of how she reacts, it's not like I'll have an impact or anything between us. I have no plans of getting too friendly with the man, though he might have some good points, emphasis on might. The best treatment I can hope myself to give him is to stop thinking of him as a sleazy douche. Besides, after seeing him with that look on him, I figure someone like him can use a little compliment here and there. He probably doesn't get it much, considering how coarse his own language can get.
Can't you act a wee bit polite for even a second of your life? It won't kill you. You'll easily get answers that way, you know? Instead of demanding things from people like a temperamental man-child.
You tell him.
I'll be nice when I want to be, woman. Don't tell me what to do.
Well, not gonna get the response you want.
And here I was just thinking how you're doing a brilliant job as Kylie's guardian.
His guardian godfather. His guardian fairy godfather. His guardian fairy godfather always provides some delicious Jellybabies!
Was I mistaken?
Was I mistaken? What? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Stop playing dumb. I hate to admit it, but you actually seem to be good with kids. Possibly even better than most of the teachers here.
That'll come useful for your future children, am I right?
What do you know?
I've expected him to take it all in, bloat his ego more, and even brag about it. Instead, what I get from him is a sound resembling a squawk? Or maybe that's him choking on his own pride. I can't tell above the hubbub surrounding us. But when I glance at him, only a mortified expression on his face.
No.
No? You should be proud of yourself. At least there's this one good thing about you. Isn't that nice to hear? Pretty sure not a lot of compliments get thrown around about you, knowing how you are.
There are a lot of good things about me, Daisy. My hair, for one. There's also my extraordinary good looks. Wax lyrical about those all you want. I'd be happy to hear it any day. Praise anything about me but that.
What is so repulsive about it? Even Kylie likes you.
He's expecting children!
Shouldn't that tell you anything about yourself?
Kylie is one kid, not even my own. Trust me, you do not want to see me bring a spawn of my own into this world. This will be an abomination.
Oh, just you wait. I know you're a little self-seeking stout down inside. You like children. Come on, admit it.
Is that what you keep telling yourself?
Uh-huh.
Maybe. Is it any of your business?
No. But if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is because you yourself think you're a little piece of shite and somehow it'll pass on. It doesn't work like that, by the way.
The last remark just came out. There might be a silver of truth in it, a sliver of truth in it. I keep saying silver of truth. Silver of truth. Everyone seen a silver of truth? I mean a slither. Sliver. Slither, sliver, silver. Sliver, silver, slither, sliver, sliver, silver, sliver, 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 sliver of truth. Navaldi's already in my throat. Lost in that moment in front of me. He turns to gaze outside, staring at some point past the buildings, blocking the view of the sky, equally lost in his thoughts. He's a vexing man under so many standards. However, at this moment, the morning light streaming the window lends his features a certain air, softer, less severe than what he often flaunts. I might as well be looking at a different man. There's a tender note in his voice, where he finds it. The words muttered under his breath, not intended for anyone but himself. Nevertheless, it reaches my ears, unintentional as it may be.
You're right. She deserves someone far better than me.
All that talk about self-worth seems to make sense now. It isn't some profound knowledge he's pulling from his arse. It came about because he's already been there, likely still stuck in the middle of it. Preaching about your own personal experience is easier, after all. Oh, aye. Yeah, that much makes sense. Less room for mistakes, more of a dose of self-loathing. What a complicated man. Just when you thought you've already figured him out, he does one thing and says the other. People like him are the most difficult to gauge, far harder to understand. Yet it might be exactly for this reason why some are so easily charmed by him. It's the mystery that catches them, of wanting to find out what underneath that bravado. I won't count myself among those yet. His winning personality isn't exactly my cup of tea. But sometimes, once you get the glimpse of what's beyond that machismo, empathizing with the man isn't such a steep hill to climb. It's the comfortable silence we now share tells everything that is. Perhaps that is as close as to friendship as we can get. Several insults flung around with a few shared silences in between, and that's not exactly a bad thing. He's not exactly a bad guy, either, despite the awkward start we've had. Maybe it's for this reason that I can't resist throwing in a little comment to lift his mood before leaving him.
You know, Luke, you're not such a bad person.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm touched, Daisy.
Take it how you will, but a little attitude change would help. A lot.
Oh, bollocks. Right, of course. Let me know when you're done with your lecture, ma'am.
And you can probably start by not leaving your wife out while you're having some quality time with your goddaughter. Who knows? Maybe that'll help change how the child sees her.
Where did you even get the idea I'm leaving my wife out? Have you ever even met?
We did, but we didn't get to probably not me, but Rebecca. I have this... You know, it's funny, that thing about video games. Whenever you're playing as the protagonist, you're putting yourself in the position of the character, and you say I. It's so weird. So weird. Rebecca didn't get to formally introduce herself to... I wouldn't really associate myself with Rebecca for personal reasons, but... It's really weird when you get into the game like that.
No, but I did see her with you two last time.
That's right. Confused and... so...
What? When was this?
At the cafe, after you left.
No. 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 You met her at the mansion, you silly cookie.
She was sitting right beside you. Kylie was at the back and you were driving.
That was the hitchhiking ghost. I still find that kind of funny, the fact that she's just calmly sitting there, just getting a ride. So I still find that funny.
Daisy, are you sure you haven't accidentally hit yourself with your own book? Because that damn thing's quite big, and I'm really getting worried about you.
Soon you'll get all these ideas and thinking when you should be focusing on other things, like me.
It has only been a few days, and concussions can be dangerous.
Well, you asked. I just answered. It's pretty rude to make her wait like that, by the way.
How can I make her wait when she's not even with us?
What?
It was just Kylie and I that night.
Now you're just pulling my leg.
Look at tails, long and draws out. Also deep breath in this chapter. Like I've stepped into a minefield. Why, this still surprises me, escapes me, but above my worries of offending the man is of my own bewilderment. I remember well enough what I saw that night, yet he says something completely different.
Wifey was out with Kylie's mummy that night. She wasn't with us. How do you think I ended up on babysitting duty?
But in the front seat. And Kylie's...
That was a hitchhiking ghost.
Miss Pink!
Oh, what's the matter? Kylie's sobs reach my ears first, and then her familiar weight returns around my waist again. Hot tears seep through the blouse as she buries her face in it, her arms winding tightly around me. Luke and I briefly exchange worried glances, and his own lips shut tight with concern. Her cries are soft enough not to attract much attention. Most of the visitors have been ushered inside the rooms by now anyway. Those that still linger, though, watches our little group with great interest and concern. If I don't get a better handle of the situation, I have a feeling Luke will start yelling at everyone soon. Right. Let's see what's
All right, Kylie. Calm down. What happened?
It's my friend!
That's a little too vague, Munchkin.
Let her speak, Luke. Who is it, Kylie? Melody? Or was it the other one?
Yeah.
Did the two of you fight?
She nods. Aww.
Sweetie, I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me what happened.
I wanted to give her the rest of the Jellybabies, but she won't come out!
Where? Where is she?
In the little girl's room.
Is she still there?
Another nod. Jellybabies. It's sad when someone doesn't eat Jellybabies.
She won't say what's wrong! I kept asking her, but she told me to go away!
To quote many a Star Wars character, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Career Day's going to start soon! I saw the prizes Miss Alice will give us for good! She's gonna miss it!
Is that what you told her?
Yeah, she won't listen! She won't even take the Jellybabies! After I saved it for her, too! She and Luke wanted to eat the red ones, but I told him it's not for him! Miss Pink, can you talk to her? Tell her to come out, and I'm really upset with her.
Ah, just a little childish argument then. Times like this, I'm glad I teach teenagers mature enough to petty squabbles. I do love being around children, won't mind having one of two of them in my own future, but it takes a whole lot of different levels of patience to teach several of them. I honestly admire my colleagues who willingly took the challenge. Normally, I'll leave this to their homeroom teachers to fix. I can't just ignore the imploring look she shoots me. There's another weakness I've had to steel myself against before I even think of having one of my own. For now, I give it to her.
Okay, tell me where she is, sweetie.
Sighing, I stand up and gesture for her to lead the way. I've got a bad feeling about this. The ghost is gonna show up, isn't it? Okay. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
London Bridge is falling down.
Falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Turns out Kylie's not the only one who's upset about this. Despite the situation, a smile forms on my lips as I call out to her friend.
Hello? Hello there? You're Kylie's friend, aren't you? Melody, is it? She's looking for you.
Children can be so amusing sometimes.
Oh, yes. They make for good sport, yes.
Granted, they can be exasperating, especially around this age, but the endearing things about them and outweigh those. All you need is enough level of patience.
Career Day's about to start, too. You'll have to come out, or you're going to be really late for it.
This might be the comforting encounter from hell coming up.
Miss Alice won't be happy if one of her kids isn't there. I heard she brought little gifts for everyone who'll behave. Don't you want to receive one?
Her cries show no signs of abating. They only grow louder. Not close to a wail. Alarming, regardless.
Are you okay?
I think she's seen a ghost. You don't see it right now, but I've got my teeth on my lips. You know when you get so nervous you start biting your own lips? Yeah, this is that kind of situation. Brace yourselves! It all happens in the span of a second. I don't make it past 2 steps into the room. Okay. I'm not going to call it now. She's going to go into the bathroom. Her friend is either possessed. She is terrified because she sees something bloody. Or another friend has died. Or there's like the Chamber of Secrets has been opened written on the wall. Something like that. Something like that. Brace yourselves! Her cries abruptly stop. Light footsteps shuffle behind me, coming to a halt at the door. My heart skips a beat, like that Ollie Murs song. When I turn...
Kylie?
Oh no. Oh no. She's gone possessed by a ghost. Just like in Zachary's chapter, what the fridge is wrong with her? Is this to do with the fact that her godfather's bought the mansion? What did she do to deserve this?
Miss Pink? Miss Pink? Why didn't you help her?
Her whole body becomes motionless at the sight of her, words catching in my throat, and heart pounding rapidly against my chest. This is Kylie, I'm sure of it. Yet nothing in the manner she speaks or the way she tilts her head in question carries the youthful, innocent vibe she always brings with her. It also could be something to do with her eyeshadow and her small irises and her creepy, crooked smile. Yeah, there's something spooky going on here. As if I'm merely looking at a dead, hollow imitation of a child, like she's a puppet.
Can't you hear her? She's asking for your help.
That's what I'm trying to get at. But it's not those that trigger a memory. It's those chilling eyes. Calling. Beckoning.
Why won't you listen to her?
Because you're creeping me out! All at once, the memory returns to me. A tide that has receded and now returns to shore with an overwhelming force, carrying images of a single moment from days ago. Of a world passing by in a blur, and of features I could barely discern under the little light there was. Not even a week has passed. In this minute, while I keep my eyes trained on the child before me, they return with such unbearable clarity. There are no horrid wounds this time, no blood streaming down a pale face. Thank heavens. Just lips contorted to a small, twisted smile. They brim with venom I've never expected to ever see in a child, sending tiny pinpricks of dread crawling up my limbs and winding up my neck.
You're a bad person. People like you deserve to die.
I can't breathe. Crud! Judging, mocking, taunting, each scathing word ringing sharp and true against my ears. My throat closes in. My whole body tenses. A chill settles at the tip of my fingers, every digit gone rigid from the cold. Every single breath I draw. Any struggle for air on freedom, the coils wrapped around my body tight and dragging me down. A gradual, torturous descent into another bottomless abyss. On and on and on, until I lose touch with myself and the world.
Help me!
Until darkness claims me and, unexpectedly, a note. In the distance, harsh and piercing, cutting through the thick stupor and shattering the haze without warning.
Are you ladies done with your business here? I'll have all morning to wait for you two.
My eyes snap open and the world shifts into place with a ragged gasp. When I glance up, a different set of eyes greets me.
Are you okay, Miss Pink?
Oh my. No anger. No vile hatred in them. Just plain, sincere concern. Bit by bit, I become aware of my surroundings and myself as warmth steadily slips back to me. I've reached out to the nearby counter to steady myself at some point, and my knuckles have gone white from how rigid my grip on it is. What on earth? It's over now, yet the tension hasn't left my body. My heart still hammers hard against my chest in an erratic rhythm, and my breathing still comes in short, shallow bursts. Before me, Kylie fumbles with her hands, utterly unsure of what to do to an adult in what's probably a laughable state.
Did you get sick? I'll come to you, okay? Stay here and don't move.
No. No need. Just leave me alone.
Tio know how to fix you. Oh, wait, okay?
I wish I could speak reassurances to her, but I can't shake it off. The dread is there, twisting on my insides in anticipation. Of what? I'm no longer sure. Pushing myself to the counter, I break off into a run, brushing off the anxious look Kylie gives me, and I gently push her away on my way out, or the furrows of Luke's brows when I stumble onto him outside. Whatever they saw in my face, I care not to know. I don't even understand what's happening anymore. The tremors continue long after the last of my classes have ended, although none of my students have commented on it. I've caught a few sharing anxious glances every time a pen slips out of my hand and my shoulders tense whenever called. How unusual it must be for them to see the normally composed Miss Gales become a bundle of nerves. Even the most boisterous ones have given me less grief today. You'd think being on my fourth cup of tea would provide any sort of comfort. Or is this the fifth? Or the sixth sense? Anyway, why does counting matter now? Egad. Whatever egad means. What does egad mean? Hold on a second. I wonder what egad means. I'm curious. I hope it's not what I think it means. Right, hopefully it's not a blasphemy. Anyway, the last time this happened, I passed it off as some lapse on my part, after having been sick the week before.
And it is a natural conclusion.
Those are just stories, centuries-old lore, passed by the locals to keep children in line. Really? What place doesn't have those? One of my dad's books even went as far as to describe them as a strong part of Isabella's culture. Tree giants, women who fed on unborn children, straight from the mother's womb. Or there's even one story about a demon baby. All folklore that never had a smidgen of truth in it, most probably told to scare off the natives. Now, hold on a second there. Folklore may not be literally true, but they do have truths in them. That's why we hold them dear, because they tell us about things. They tell us profound things, of virtues, of things to embrace and what to avoid. They are instruments to help us recognize a greater truth, you see? Right.
Perhaps Isabella's right all along.
There you go. It's finally dawned on her. A terrible thing, if true. Though that thought doesn't linger long, thankfully. Soon the ringing of my mobile takes my attention away from it. Ah, Marianne. A familiar name. How does she have her name and photo? She must be quite rich to have her name and stuff like that established. Like Marianne McCullough. Staring hard at the screen, I try to remember when I entered this person on my contact list. That's what I was thinking. It takes a moment when it clicks. My eyes zeroes in on the book lying wide open on my table. Oh yeah, they met at the library. I'm gonna be done with the whole volume besides. Finding a chance to sit down and read through it has been more difficult lately than I anticipated. One moment I'm busy simply grading worksheets, attending a movie premiere the next, and someone suddenly invited me out for one reason or another. Days later, a friend shows up stopping by the flat, worrying about reports pop up in the local news. There simply isn't enough time to breathe and get a grip on things. I have been flipping through the pages I've said books moments ago, though never really reading anything and merely hoping for a distraction. To no avail. My phone gives another ring, and this time I do not hesitate to answer.
Marianne?
Hello. Here I was starting to wonder if it was a bad time to call. Is it?
No, not at all. I dismissed my last class a few minutes ago. I'm pretty much free for the rest of the afternoon. Unless something comes up. Is this about last time? The book?
Not really. I was hoping to ask you about some other thing.
Oh, sure. What about?
You grew up in this city, didn't you?
It's a peculiar question to ask someone you just met. I'm more curious where she's heading by with this starting with that.
Born and raised. Third generation migrant. Why do you ask?
So, you must be familiar with the local lore. The, stories?
Quite. If I'm going to teach about history, I'd like to think I am, yeah? But a family friend would be a better person to ask. If you want, I can contact him for you.
No, let's just keep this thing between us, okay? It's nothing too big. Alright. I really don't know how else to put this without sounding a bit crazy. But things have been really, odd. Do you remember the mansion I mentioned back when we met? My current project?
In hindsight, I should have expected it will lead to this. She must not have lived too long, as she's asking now about this. I didn't have to take a week with Isabella when she arrived, and that's Isabella, superstitious down to the last hair. So, it won't be too far off to think that Mariana started thinking about this recently. Yeah, when there's more than one witness, it's most likely to be true. Right.
The Ermengarde mansion, yes?
Yes, that one. And, the thing is, oh dear, this is a bad idea. You know what? Just forget I ever called you about this. It must have been the sunny weather. It's making me sick and see stupid things.
Excuses, excuses. The ironically superstitious to natural stuff.
No, wait. It's all right. I don't mind.
I can't believe I'm asking you about this.
It's fine. Why don't you just think of it as some form of research?
Yeah.
Well, alright. But after this, we're going to forget we ever had this talk.
My lips will be sealed. Now, what is it about the mansion?
Just, what do you know about it? The general gist. The place's past. What happened to the owners? Anything you can give me.
Let's see. To start off,
I do my best to give her a concise summary from the time the house was commissioned 400 years ago and who had built it, up to the point it got deserted after the last heir's death and the deed was passed on to the Ermengarde's nearest relatives. Frankly, if it weren't for those urban legends persisting, the house would have already faded into obscurity long ago. Demolished even. These are all nothing she probably hasn't heard of before, yet there's dissatisfaction in her tone once I finish.
That's all there really is to it?
as far as I know. There's this little bit I forgot to mention about Lady Charlotte Ermengarde's death, but most of those are just theories. Aside from that, this is really everything we've been teaching all these years. Should there be anything more?
No mention of any other weird stuff? Other crazy stories? Or a letter of some sort?
Dun dun dun! My blood runs cold. Any warmth and comfort the tea I've drunk has been given me prior has instantly been drained out of me. The phone creaks softly as my light hold onto it turns into a firm grip. This whole letter is starting to sound more than a coincidence. Yeah, that's what happens when you investigate truth, everybody. It takes more faith to believe in coincidence and chance, and to believe in stuff like this. In this instance, it would take more faith to believe in coincidence and hallucinations than it does to believe in ghosts.
None that I've heard or read of.
Liar!
What does a letter have to do with this?
Oh, no. It was just something I came across. Ignore it. Random thoughts, you know?
You don't want to talk about it?
By the way, I need to run. Thanks for answering my questions.
You're welcome, Marianne. She answered, well, you're welcome on Rebecca's part. Alright.
Just what the hell did we get ourselves into?
Of course, there's still a lot of confusing details in this. All of these are just assumptions. No concrete conclusion to be formed from what we have. And if we want to find out what we're really dealing with, I think Marianne's right. There might be something more of these stories. As absurd as it sounds, the very place that gives us that letter might tell us something beyond what we know. And tomorrow night, I have a few hours of that chance at the housewarming party. Totally not an exciting thought since the place is privately owned now. I can't just wander around. But it's enough reason to keep the dread at bay, as I step out of the room, ready to put an end to this day. And then he appears.
You're still here?
Obviously. Who do you think's standing in front of you?
An ass.
Oh, come on, Daisy. You've done better than that. Losing your touch?
Luke, I don't have time for this. I'm heading home, and your face is the last thing I want to see before I leave. What do you want?
Blatantly, I notice his hand, partly raised, almost poised for a knock. At a slight lift of an eyebrow, he quickly drops it aside and turns to Kylie. She's standing a few steps from him, holding her hands behind her back and toeing at something on the floor with the tip on a shoe, rather. Then he proceeds to make vague gestures to me and the child. He resembles a fish flopping for air with the way he's moving his arms, though I think he's trying to urge her to speak up.
Munchkin, I thought you wanted to tell her something.
You do it, Teal.
This wasn't my idea, darling.
Don't worry. I won't tell Tia what you told me the other day. And this morning.
Alright, here we go.
You, come with us.
What makes you think I will?
Because little Rugrat here is upset and worried, and it's your bloody fault.
And of course, he shifts the blame on anyone but himself.
I've no idea what happened this morning, but if you don't come with us, I won't be hearing the end of it from her. So do me a favor, Daisy, and just be glad I'm inviting you.
You are asking for a favor, and you can't be bothered to be polite? I don't know. It's been a really busy day for me. I kind of miss my couch.
Daisy, you just say yes.
A pause follows, almost too dramatic. Afterwards, his face twists into something between a grimace and a smile. As it happens, he appears like he's in a lot of physical pain. You'd think the man is getting an aneurysm. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, by simply being polite.
Please?
Tia said it'll be his treat.
What? I said no such thing, Munchkin. I only agreed to this because you requested it. I'm under no obligation to feed her.
I promise we'll be quiet the next time I visit.
Oh, alright, but just one meal and make it the cheapest.
He and Ashton will get along famously on that department. Oh yes. On a different front, the offer of free dinner does sound enticing, however half-heartedly given it is. Mostly because Kylie has wisely put up her puppy dog eyes, and by the second, I find all my choices slipping away from me. Thankfully, not her spooky ghost eyes.
See, Miss Pink? It'll be fun. You don't have to feel sad anymore, okay?
Oh, well,
My mobile buzzes from my pocket, Alright, let's see who it is. Who is it? It's Ashton. Hey, Becca. I'll be around Salimwell this evening. Need to meet someone in the area. I might have to drop by yours and Isabella's place after you. See ya.
Wet.
Sorry, I need to get on with this because this is a long game. Tough choice, but I have to pick one. I mean, she's gonna get to the housewarming party eventually. I think... okay, let's see. Maybe we should put our friends first. Is this gonna make a difference? Eeny, meeny, miny. I have other things to do. Because Kylie asked. Oh, that's something I didn't know I could do. Huh. Oh well. Anyway. I've got friends to see. Ooh, this is a difficult choice. Only because Kylie asked. I have other things to do. When you look at it closely, it isn't such a difficult decision to make. First and foremost, no matter where I look at this, it's inappropriate to some degree. Did I make the wrong choice? Disregarding Luke's honest intentions. Only known the man for a grand total of 2 days. I've got a gut feeling I made the wrong decision there. Something bad's gonna happen. I'm gonna be on my own. The ghost is gonna get me, isn't it? Isn't she? Am I gonna see my friends or... I mean, I've got to get to the housewarming party eventually. I've got to see friends, but at the same time, I've got to appease to these two.
You're not gonna join us, are you?
Maybe next time.
I'm sorry, Kylie. I'd love to, but I have other things to do. A friend just texted me about something urgent, and he wants to meet tonight.
Yes.
Just say it's a date, Daisy. A little rugrat will understand. She's not an infant. No need for blatant lies.
Friend! You teaser, you little teaser. I want to tickle you. Anyway, Heat instantly crawled on my face at his baseless insinuations. Oh, what I would give for another chance to put a real dent in his skull.
What even gave you that idea? And even if it is, why do you care? Stop sticking your nose in other people's affairs.
Oh, your face says it all, woman. You think I won't recognize those longing looks?
There isn't a look, you There isn't a look, all right?
Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, Daisy.
You already have a story written in